Welcome in, folks. This is the AJA Sports Show. This is our baseball buzz segment. Glad to have you guys in. What's going on?
How you doing, Ace? What's going on?
Doing well.
We have we have a mixer today. We're not a bunch of degenerates.
Yeah, not just Johnny losing his mind over whiskey on the rocks. It's just mixed with Coke, but Jack and Coke nevertheless.
Also have whiskey, but it's like Fireball whiskey with coffee. So,
Ooh, that's an interesting combo. I've been looking for something to do with coffee. I'm gonna have to try that because, like, I like to drink coffee around this time too, but I don't mind a drink.
How about Bailey's? That's what a lot of people like to mix, right?
Yeah, that's like the go-to, or like Kahlua, but I don't think we have any of that.
Also, I'm just going to throw it out there. I was supposed to have music playing from the transition to the beginning to now. It didn't work for some reason because for some reason I clicked a button and it said no. So I just played it even though we're still talking right now because I am not faithful to the process. Even though the process doesn't always work, I'm still going to stick to the process. That is me getting off my pedestal, and let's lower the music. Okay.
That a boy. It's a little shot to Canva there, huh?
Oh yeah, seriously, get it together over there, Canva.
Yeah. So, we're gonna blame YouTube. We're gonna blame StreamYard and Canva. Not like entirely, but we had small little technical difficulties today before we got the show going up. But it is okay. We're gonna have a nice light episode as we release some of our tensions via the alcohol and some sports talk. Elizabeth coming in with the agreement that Kahlua or Bailey's is delicious with coffee. Yeah, I mean, but it's, to a degree. It gets like, those are like so basic to me. Like, you gotta.
Oh wow!
Like, let's figure out something else with coffee.
Because I like cinnamon in my coffee.
Well, yeah, that's what this is.
That's a So Fireball has cinnamon, so that seems like it might work.
Yeah, I'm not sorry. Let me say I'm not telling you, Elizabeth, that you're not coming up with better ideas, but I feel like coffee can take on more. So there's lots of complexities to coffee that you could probably, not just stop it there. There's even some like beers that have like coffee flavors, coffee notes, and stuff like that. So I've tried a few myself.
Wow.
So iced coffee would be really good, like an iced like some sort of coffee beverage. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't want to get too sidetracked.
Excuse me. I don't see you coming up with other ideas, sir. Yeah, you're right. I'm useless. I'll do my best to improve. So
no, you're great, buddy.
So we have a few things to talk about today. It's pretty light. The baseball season just started, so it's not like we're like scanning over the standings as much as we need to, or
we only got
worried about. We're not
140 games to go.
Yeah, so
we're just coming up with an excuse to meet up on a Thursday and drink with each other. That's all we're doing.
Totally you're not supposed to say that out loud. That's
I'm just kidding.
Look behind the curtain.
So we have 6 people in. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Last week we had a really nice show. Amanda joined us and gave Ryan too, and gave us a lot of topics to talk about. They kind of kept the ball rolling. So if you guys have anything to talk about today, you are more than welcome to get at us.
Please.
I'm gonna kind of get the show going here. We're gonna talk about Willie Mays. By Baseball Digest, they just gave him a Lifetime Achievement Award, which is like their inaugural award. That wasn't a slur. That inaugural is just a hard word to say, Jay. I know you slurred your words last week, so I'm just trying to put that out there.
It doesn't take a lot of alcohol for me to do that, baby. So,
so this is the first time it's been done. It's been given to an individual who has significant impact or contributions to the game. Willie Mays is 90 years old, so they're also the caveat is they want to give it to living players. So I'm not sure if they just decided who was the oldest and just decided to give it to that person. Hopefully the other few names on this list don't get any like bad juju from the baseball gods, because that would be very depressing. So I'm going to ask these guys, are you okay with Willie Mays getting it for this first time? And the other names, and let me tell you those, and you could buy or sell it, whatever your choice is. You're not wrong either way. But Hank Aaron, so he passed away, so he wasn't necessarily able to receive the award. Roland Hemmond, who was a longtime executive in baseball, kind of a behind the scenes guy, advisor, minor league. He had a lot of minor league influences, a lot of scouting influences. He built some like associations for both of those over the years, and also like he's been known for like his front office strategy and mentoring other executives. Didn't know the guy until today. Had to do some research. Pretty cool guy. Has been
Hashtag put the time in. Hashtag
Yeah.
put the time in.
He's been in the league for like, I think he exited in 2017 when he was like an advisor with the Diamondbacks and entered the league in like the early 50s. So he's been around for a little while. The next person on this list is Rachel Robinson's the wife of Jackie Robinson. Vin Scully, longtime, commentator for the Brooklyn Dodgers and Los Angeles Dodgers. Joe Torre, MLB executive, MVP player, coach, and commentator. He's been a commentator on some of the networks here. So buy or sell. Willie Mays getting the award.
Yeah, I'll definitely buy Willie Mays getting it. It's kind of hard to argue against Willie Mays winning an award, winning the Lifetime Achievement Award, especially the inaugural one. I just don't understand, like, what's the reasoning behind it having to be living players? Like, that's just what I don't understand, because there's like there's just so many like former players that have been so like instrumental in getting baseball to where it is now. So how are you just going to be using that caveat? It seems a little weird to me, because it's the whole point is a lifetime achievement, but like lifetimes like obviously end.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make any sense, because Hank Aaron should definitely should be the next one to get it. I don't know how they're doing it. If they're doing it like the Hall of Fame, where they, nominate several at a time or one at a time. But Willie Mays, and then Hank Aaron getting it. But I mean, so Babe Ruth and other guys like that, like Lou Gehrig, aren't going to receive this award. That just seems a little weird to me. But no, I'm definitely buying Willie Mays. That Willie Mays being the inaugural is like, he has probably the most iconic moment in baseball history, catching the ball in center field over his shoulder. So if not the most, one of the most, I guess, whatever your flavor is.
Yeah. No,
I think they just kind of made some type of like stipulations. I mean, the players who are dead are kind of hard to give awards to. There's not really, you give them their family, but I guess that's kind of just why they geared it towards players who were living or MLB figures who were living. I mean, he's a 24-time All-Star, 12-time Gold Glove winner. He's sixth in career home runs with 660, one of the best center fielders of all time. So, yeah, totally cool with that. I did want to pick Vin Scully because I'm a huge Dodger fan. Obviously, we all are there. Yeah, I mean, he called Henry Aaron's 715th home run that passed Babe Ruth. He called the Kirk Gibson home run that, I wasn't alive for, but no, because, again, we're Dodger fans. So wanted to say sell here and give it to Vin Scully, but Willie Mays just done so much for the game of baseball. So I think Willie Mays getting it is more than fine.
Yeah, this isn't like this person is better than the other. I mean, I'm pretty sure each player and person and human on this list will get it at some point. It's just the whole stipulation about alive is kind of like a little sad to think about, just because they're going to add more names to this list next year, so potentially we're not seeing someone get it while they're alive. So for what it's worth. So we can move to something less depressing, so I don't have to worry about anybody dying here. So old Dodger outfielder, third baseman, shortstop, also played for like the Tigers and a few other teams. Gary Sheffield came out today or yesterday and said that he doesn't watch baseball anymore. Just for whatever reason, he never did. I guess it was something to do with he just wanted to come to the game and just play the game. He did work for TBS for a little bit after his playing career. Had to watch games then. This guy was hit 509 home runs, just under a 300 average, 2,689 hits. A great hitter. potentially scarred by the fact that he was listed as one of the players on the steroids list from his time. But he thinks the game has changed for batters, and he doesn't like that the batters don't have more of an advantage, even though I feel like they've gotten a couple over the time that he left, but steroids has left, so potentially that was the caveat to his success and some other success of the players. This steroid era is never going to leave us, man. We're going to be talking about this when we lose all our hair. Oh, wait a second. When they lose their hair. So, what do you guys think? Just buy or sell his general rationale?
That was good.
Do you buy or sell his rationale here? This is a weird buy or sell, but are you guys okay with him coming out with these comments that? I guess just kind of direct your thought on, do the players need more stipulations to be better?
No, I think it was a little weird. I mean, I don't understand why players wouldn't want to watch. I guess if you play it so much, the last thing you want to do is watch it, but you want to watch film and study and stuff. So I don't know. First thing I think of I don't know why, but first thing I think of when I think of Gary Sheffield was how good he used to be in the Louisville Slugger game. I mean, dude was a monster. He used to do the home run derby. Gary Sheffield was one of the guys you wanted to use. Power was up there in 95s. Ace, we got Ryan in the chat too, talking about Joe Torre as the Dodgers manager for a few years.
Hey, yeah, I mean,
he was the Dodgers manager for a few years, but
hey Ryan, he's the best Dodger manager. Who won a World Series? Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts did. Dave Roberts is a better Dodgers coach in Dodgers history.
Well, I mean, also Tommy Lasorda.
Yeah. Right. No disrespect to Tommy, but I just had to,
Well, what about Don Mattingly? No.
No, no Donnie baseball for me. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, watching, sometimes I don't watch baseball, right? Especially because, we talked about, 162 freaking games, okay? There's a basketball game on right now, the 76ers and the Milwaukee Bucks are playing. I will watch that over the Dodger game. I love the Dodgers to death. I'm going to watch the game, okay? Lakers play today against the Nuggets. I'll be watching the Laker game. Anthony Davis coming back. I mean, it's just, baseball has so many games. I'm not watching all of them, so I can understand why some people wouldn't want to watch all of them. Makes sense, but I mean, some of these old heads, bro, they're like, the game's changed. Yeah, the game's freaking changed. Duh. The NBA looks nothing like it used to when I was a kid, and I'm not even that flipping old. Everyone's shooting 3-pointers now. Baseball, everyone's trying to shoot for home runs. It is what it is,
Well,
games change.
What I kind of think about this too is, so if you look at major league pitchers back in the day, they used to just pitch countless innings. They'd maybe pitch every couple of days. Sometimes they go back-to-back days. They were nuts, dude. They didn't care. They went out there every day, and they were excellent and fantastic. If anything, pitchers don't pitch as much because hitters get to them. So shouldn't I mean, I guess the point is maybe hitters are not taking as much advantage of their opportunities here. He kind of also specified that the home run ball is also dying down a little bit, and he doesn't think when a player hits a home run that they celebrate enough, or that they appreciate it enough, or that the fans don't appreciate it enough. I feel like that's subjective because I don't know objectively what he's trying to get out there. I mean, if you are watching a game and you see a home run, you're going to either boo or clap because you have a feeling of, you generally root for one team or another. So I don't, appreciate the context of his talk there when, Major League Baseball hitters have every advantage. I guess just my last point, ballparks. Everybody's ballpark is different. So, but that's what makes baseball too, right? So,
yeah, it has this unwritten rule kind of things, I guess you can call them. But yeah, I mean, they're whatever. I'm not gonna read into what Gary Sheffield said, and nor is it gonna change my opinion of how I watch baseball nowadays. I mean, like Johnny said, the game just changes. Right now, there just happens to be in an era where pitchers are very good and hitters are trying to find the best pitch they can get and trying to send it yard because it's hard to get on base right now with pitchers, and playing small ball, especially with the shift and stuff, makes it that much more difficult.
So Ryan,
6-man rotation has killed my fantasy baseball team.
Yeah, I mean, some pitchers like number 5 or so or 6 in the roster, on the rotation might be getting skipped over. there's also been like an incredible amount of like rainouts and postponements of games,
Hmm.
also including some teams getting hit by the virus. So there's a lot of games that have to be caught up. I think like the Mets have missed like 7 or 8 games so far this year. Some like crazy, it's not a crazy number, but they have to make up these games eventually, and
Hmm.
they have 140 more games to go. So
Yeah, I
uh,
didn't. I didn't even know. I haven't played fantasy baseball in a long time. I don't know how. I don't know how the whole rotation thing works. Do you guys? Do you guys? I mean,
Well, he's saying that there's 6 men rotations on these teams now, so more pitchers are pitching for these teams. So like your pitcher doesn't pitch as many times because they're going
yeah,
6 deep in the rotation as opposed to like a normal 5-man rotation. It tightens down as the playoffs come, but.
mm,
All I'll tell you, Ryan, is you better save some. You better hope you don't have a lot of injuries and save some bench spots for some pitchers, baby, because there's a lot of DMPs right now with these pitchers and how deep people are trying to go.
yeah.
And coaches are smart too, man. Like they're not. I mean, they'll pull from their bullpen, and like we talked about the other day, like they'll keep a guy from their bullpen if they're struggling and just wash it. Like I got a whole series to play. I'm not gonna ruin my whole bullpen for one game trying to chase this game. So,
Hmm.
yeah, 6-man rotation. We'll do a lot of trolling about fantasy here, Ryan. DK especially, man. I mean, if you haven't watched any of the basketball shows, I think I freaking went off the last 2 basketball shows about like gosh darn DFS lineups. Wait until football Sundays start up. The Sunday morning roasts aren't gonna be roasts for coffee. They're gonna be roasts for how awful my lineups are, how much money I'm bleeding into DraftKings.
well, for both, that's gonna be for me mostly the coffee. You can do the DFS thing. I'll watch and have fun.
Yeah, Ryan just saying stacking the pitchers. Yeah,
Right.
if you play fantasy baseball, you have to. It might even put some more onus on you getting like a really good ace at the top of your lineup,
Yeah.
and then maybe just
And
picking
then
up
getting
dropping
and then
as you
getting
go.
the guy at the end of the rotation. So like if you have someone like a Clayton Kershaw, for example, like on the Dodgers, or like like a
Ju-
May or one of our starters, you
yeah,
get one of their
Justin May.
yeah, get like have a price like stashed on your bench just in case he needs to come in and start starting some games. He can do that. Or Gonsolin. Gonsolin's another guy who's coming out of the pen right now, but is obviously a starter. We've seen him do it. And if anything happens to any of those 3, got Bueller, any Brower, any of that happens like injury wise to them, you got a guy to put in there that's going to see some time. So
Yeah, the Angels don't really like run out Otani too much to pitch, but I mean, when he does, they couldn't always skip him in the rotation if they need to.
dude's a
Not
unicorn,
always,
bro.
but we'll
Dude's an
talk.
absolute unicorn. We'll talk about him. Yeah,
We'll talk about
unicorn,
him in
bro.
like 5 or 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so keeping the talk on, so we talked about a hitter, and we talked about how Gary Sheffield, one of the lifetime great hitters, has his opinion on the game, and how he doesn't watch TV. Well, good for him. Hopefully, he lives a long life because he's not stuck watching sports on TV like us. Now we're going to talk about pitchers. So we're going to talk about Corbin Burns first, Milwaukee Brewers starting pitcher. So far to start the season, 40 Ks, 40 strikeouts, no walks. So it's unprecedented. We haven't seen this from a 4-start in any person's career, not just in the first 4 games, but like any stretch of 4 games starting from a pitcher. So he broke Adam Wainwright's record of 35 in a row, 35 strikeouts with no walks from the St. Louis Cardinals, Adam Wainwright. Which I think that guy's still pitching. Talking about unicorns. That guy's gonna be like he's gonna have his head in a frozen chamber and still pitching for the Cardinals. Yadier Molina will probably still be catching for him too.
Yeah,
Oh,
still moving on,
I'm
man.
sure of it. Yeah.
Uh, so, so his stretch here is fantastic, right? I mean, it's unprecedented, like we said. It's real real good for baseball to keep seeing records being broken. It can only improve the game. He is 11 strikeouts away from passing Kenley Jansen from the Los Angeles Dodgers, who in 2017 struck out 51 straight batters without a walk. It's the difference here is Kenley is a relief pitcher and Burns is a starter. So they both have the record for their respective positions. So buy or sell, Burns getting 11 more strikeouts his next start, tying or breaking Kenley's 51 straight record.
Oh, I'm selling that all like an auction, baby, as fast as I possibly can. No shot. Yeah, 11 more. that's a pretty tall ask. Dude's been unbelievable this season. Like to the point of where like he was very good last season, got some Cy Young votes. This is kind of ridiculous. 4 starts, 24.1 innings. He's got a 47% strikeout rate. 47%. Yeah, that's not okay. Obviously, 0% walk rate. He's only allowed 1 run, and it was a solo home run in the first start that he had. He's got a .37 ERA this season, and has only allowed 8 hits in those 4 starts. Now, let me ask you guys, right? You would assume, oh, he's 4-0, right? You got to be absolutely terrible to not be 4. He's 2-1, so he's got 1 no decision, and he's got a loss. Like, what? How is that happening?
Yeah,
I mean, what?
Yeah.
And then so 40 strikeouts. That's a ton of strikeouts, right? He's not even leading the league in strikeouts. It's Shane Bieber, not Justin's brother, baby. Shane Bieber from Cleveland. He's got 48. I mean, ERA is nowhere close, which is what makes Burns' record so ridiculous because he's walking people. He's got like a 2.67 ERA, but 48 strikeouts in 4 freaking starts, man. I mean, I know we're not talking about that stat, but Jimmy, that's ridiculous. 12 strikeouts per game.
So just to throw a couple more stats in for you, he's faced 85 batters in his 4 starts. 10 of those have made it to a 3-ball count. So 10 times he potentially could have walked them.
Wow.
Of those 10, he struck out 6 of them. So 4 of them, hit the ball.
Put some wood on it.
He's only allowed 1 of his 85 batters he's faced to go to a 3-0 count, which he then threw 3 straight strikes and struck out the guy. So, I mean, it's impressive what he's doing. It means he can get himself out of a bad situation. But yeah, I mean, he's not leading the league in strikeouts. So yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, I do want to see him get close, but who knows if he'll get there? What do you think, Andrew?
Yeah, I was kind of close to buying it. Only because the Brewers play the Cubs in the next 3 games, but he just pitched yesterday, so I don't think he's going to get a chance. They play the Marlins afterwards, but nobody in the MLB has been batting as poorly as the Cubs have been until like recently, basically. So as of last week, actually, they had a worse batting percentage than all the pitchers in the majors combined. Yeah. They were batting worse. Yeah. So. Had he, I don't. He's a starter, so he's probably not going to get the chance to get up on the mound against Chicago. So I would probably say that doesn't continue. So I'll sell that. That's an unbelievable run though. Good job for Corbin Burns. I think you guys mentioned it already. He's got a .37 ERA on the season, so he leads the majors in that.
He has more strikeouts than his ERA.
Yeah, seriously, it's insane. So both of those will probably regress back to the mean, but I mean. Who knows how far? Sure. Maybe this is his breakout Cy Young year. We've seen a lot of guys like really have outstanding years in recent memory, and and win Cy Young's kind of out of nowhere. So maybe it's Corbin Burns. Who knows?
Jeez, I can't stop smiling because that is so true. I saw that stat the other day about the Cubs, and I almost lost it, bro. I was like, "You're batting worse than all the MLB pitchers combined." What?
They were batting 124 going into last Thursday. MLB pitchers were batting 154. It was unbelievable. So yeah, if you got a chance to play them, I would have probably bought it just for the sake of history. But
they got Javier Baez on that Chicago team. They got Chris Bryant.
They're loaded in Chicago. They got Anthony Rizzo. They have Chris Bryant.
They still got they got Jock, didn't they?
Jock, he just went on the IL today.
Well, he should be. The way he was batting, he might as well be on the IL. You might as well go out there and put a bat up on the freaking plate and do nothing.
Jock's like batting like 100 right now. He's not batting anywhere close to what he was even averaging as a Dodger. But yeah, I mean,
he was strikeout or bust with the Doyers, but woo, he is taking it another level. Oh, it's career stats.
I think the only person on their team that's doing decently well is their catcher Wilson Contreras. But yeah, they also have Jason Hayward. I mean, Jason Hayward's old now, but
he's still playing.
137. He's batting 137. Jock.
Yeah,
he's got terrible. 7 hits and 51 appears.
Which means
1 homer.
Out of every 10 at bats, you hit 1. Like that's terrible.
Jesus, that's no bueno.
Okay, so we talked about the hitters. We talked about a couple pitchers. Now we're going to talk about both of them coming together into this fun world of sports that we can now embrace. So, positional players now pitching. So this isn't like brand new. This has been around for a while. Famous, like a couple famous people. Well, they're Major League Baseball players, but Ichiro. I remember threw an inning back in the day, kind of famously remembered for that. Uh, Russell Martin for the Dodgers used to come in for relief sometimes. He in his last season playing for us, he threw 4 shutout innings. Batters against him were averaging 154. So, like that's what you want for a relief pitcher, minimal hits, and I think he's got a couple strikeouts over his time pitching. Otani, which we kind of mentioned already, is the guy that's could be championing this this movement going forward. He's pitched 62 innings so far this season, 80 strikeouts, 41 walks, 3.92 ERA, so a little high on the ERA there. And then his average against him is pretty good. It's just under 2.196. So in all conversations here, he's doing an adequate job as a starting pitcher. So buy or sell though. Positional players also pitching in the major leagues.
I'll let Andrew go first. Hey, so those stats were for what? For this year?
Sorry, Otani's. This is Otani's career.
Okay, gotcha.
I didn't mention. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Now, Andrew, you can go first.
80 Ks to 40 walks. Does that seem kind of high? That seems a little high, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a 2-1 ratio. That's not terrible, but
he's 14 to 11 so far.
He's not
That's
like
better.
Top of your rotation starter.
14 and 11. How's that better?
I don't know why. I thought you said 1. That's not better. Never mind.
He's like middle of the rotation, possibly emergency pitcher with those numbers. I mean, no, honestly, he could probably be like a 4 or 5 for most teams if he just pitched. But he also bats. So
yeah, but to answer the question, I'll buy it. I mean, positional players coming in, there's going to be, a need for it. Like, not necessarily a need. Like, you can't like game plan for one there being a need, but the Dodgers and Padres last week in their first 3-game series went into extras, and Jake Cronenworth came in from second base, and he struck out Mookie Betts. So I mean, if he could, you get it out late in the inning, I guess, just to get you out of it to limit the damage. I guess there's nothing wrong with positional players pitching. I don't mind that. But Shohei's pretty crazy. He whacked that home run. I think we showed it on stream. He hit that home run, his first home run of the season. That was an absolute just like moonshot. Came out of nowhere. So if he could stay healthy and keep pitching, that'd be good for the Angels and for Ryan, because he just left a comment about he's been dealing with injuries basically since he got to Anaheim. That's what he said.
Yep, and that's what I was gonna bring up. And he's 100% right. This dude Ryan knows his stuff, Asa. Dude's been injured the entire time, bro. It's hard asking somebody to pitch and hit. I mean, how many pitchers have we seen their careers cut short because of Tommy John and stuff? And that's why I'm kind of advocating for him just to. I want to. First of all, no. Okay, I'm selling. There's no. But in baseball, you pitch or you're a position player, bro. Like it's hard enough to do either one. That's why this dude Shohei is a freaking unicorn, dog. Like we've never seen anything like it. He's batting this year 310. He's got 5 homers, 13 RBIs, 12 runs, 355 on base percentage. Absolutely great. Pitching, he's only pitched 8.2 innings this season in 2 starts. 1.04 ERA, 14 strikeouts, 11 walks. It's a lot of walks. But I was talking to the boys here before the game. Ryan, you're in here with the chat. Tell me what you think about this. I want to see Shohei pitch in like the postseason, like ramp it up towards the end of the regular season. Then in the postseason, have Shohei play field. And then, when you really need him in like the 7th or the 8th, bring him in for the last couple of innings and let him come in like relief. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because Ryan, when he's talking about his injuries, I'm sure one of the things he's talking about, and this is kind of a baby injury, but it happens because, you're doing so much with holding the bat all the time and batting practice and hitting all the time and fielding in the field, right? He's getting blisters. That's what's really been bugging him this season so far early is blisters. And it's not like there's 162 games, baby. It's not like we're getting a rest here besides the ASG All-Star break. So, I mean, that's the big question, right? Is he going to be able to stay healthy and keep doing this for the longevity of his entire career? Because I don't really know.
That's true. Because as Dodger fans, even seeing Rich Hill was is notorious for dealing with blisters, and you see pitchers miss games for dealing with blisters. So I honestly didn't even know he was dealing with the blisters. So that was a good point to bring up by you there. So yeah, I don't know. Like
Ryan, real quick, saying I want to see him be a full-time DH. Love the pitching, but I think we can keep him healthy if we do that. Yeah, I agree.
Right,
I mean,
absolutely. And then when you need if you're like, dude, if we absolutely, you know what I'm saying, in the playoffs, bro, like I mean, he's a great pitcher. Like he pitches very well. In the playoffs, I'm gonna throw him in there, bro. I will. I don't that's what I'm doing.
So this is MLB's tracking last year of positional players who came in to pitch. So Brett Eibner, don't know him. Matt Davidson sounds a little familiar. Santiago Espinal. So I mean, we're looking here at this list, and it's not like crazy huge big names in the league. Todd Frazier, Neil.
Can I bring something up?
Yeah.
Notice. What do you notice? You don't know any of these dudes. Why? Because the only time they come out to pitch is when we're getting blown out, and we don't want to waste our rotation, and we don't want to waste our bullpen.
Yeah. Let me show
one
more.
Spot situations would be great for. Yeah, they would, right, Ryan? I think that'd be perfect, dude. You bring them in, especially in the playoffs when I gotta have it. You know what I'm saying? And then, you can ramp it up towards the end of the regular season, right? Let them start coming out of the pen towards the end of the regular season when the games really start to matter. And then by the time the playoffs come, we're ready to go, baby. And he comes in and he gives you, I mean, we've seen it. He starts, he's pitching 4. If he comes in, he's dealing, baby. I'll let him ride.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, so real quick, just to break this down, since 2008, 12 plus years of collection of data, the San Diego Padres, who are the worst team as far as the last, Tommy John surgeries. I think they have like 15% of the last Tommy John surgeries coming out of San Diego. So that's probably why they have to throw in some positional players to pitch, because they're not taking care of their pitchers and they're losing them for over a year. So the Padres lead this list here with almost 450
They've also
pitchers.
They've also been pretty bad over those last 12 years. They haven't been very good. So in a tough division.
Yeah, in the same division as the Giants, Rockies, Dodgers, who trend at the bottom of this list. It's interesting to see, though. Angels are pretty low on this list, even though having Ohtani, but again, he's only put in 50.
See, but do they count him as a pitcher ace? Like, I don't know if he's counted on like that list that you just put up before. He wasn't on there because he's technically a pitcher. When he pitches, he's a pitcher. But when he plays in the field, like if he was to start in the field, then go pitch, like I'm saying, then that would make this go up.
The Ohtani exception. He's gonna have his own.
Exactly. He'll have his own thing. Unicorn, bro. # unicorn. Him and Kristoff.
So pretty much from Seattle to Cincinnati, they're all kind of in that same range. Arizona to like New York Yankees are kind of in the same range there. It's expected, I guess. I mean, this is over 13 years though, so or 12 years. Well, 13 technically, but so it's kind of not a lot in retrospect there. I thought it was still an interesting stat to look at. So it's getting a little bit more attention, I think, because Ohtani is, Mr. Unicorn over here, is bringing some more recognition to the fact that it could both be possible. Jay, you sold. Andrew, you bought it. I'm neutral. As long as the players are happy, let them do whatever they want. If they can do both, let them do both. So I guess I'm buying.
Again, I only buy it on the simple fact that if you don't want to exhaust your, relief staff when you're being blown out, or if you're an extras and the game gets away from you, that's the only reason I'm buying it. But maybe for the situation, like for a situation like Ohtani, it's completely different because you could just he's like you said, I'll use the same word, unicorn. He's kind of 101. He can do kind of everything. If he can stay healthy, he's going to be pretty remarkable. Just considering what he can do, like he's thrown pitches that are 101 miles an hour and hit balls for over 100 miles an hour. It's kind of crazy. So he could, as we mentioned earlier, the game's kind of changing, and Gary Sheffield's kind of mad about that. Like the game's just going to always continue to evolve and change.
Absolutely. Ryan's 100% right here.
Yeah. I got corrected. Thank you for correcting me there. So that would have, if anything, though, it would have brought the Angels probably closer to the top of that list. But yeah, Ohtani doesn't necessarily count.
Yeah, and just to clarify, I'm selling players doing both at a super high level, right? Like I'm all about throwing a position player in there, let Russell Martin throw a couple pitches because I don't want to distress my bullpen. But yeah, in terms of like doing it at a high level, we haven't seen it. So no, why would I possibly think it's something that can be done? And the one guy who's doing it is struggling so much with freaking injuries,
healthy.
right?
Yep.
You know, I mean, if he was coming in and he was making it look easy, and not to say he's not a good pitcher, because again, when he comes in and pitches, he does a great job. Look at his stats this year. Like, he's got a lot of walks, but besides that, the ERA is low. He's only, again, 8 innings, so short sample size. But I mean, to argue that he can't do both is wrong. But how many Shohei Ohtanis are there? There's one. So
right, and he wasn't, you know, fresh up and comer into the league. He was, you know, he was playing overseas too. So before he came over, so. Yeah, I mean, he might have been kind of in the part of his career though where he would possibly be facing injuries. So maybe the Angels organization has to look at that and just keep him as a DH if he keeps experiencing those, which will probably be not the best case scenario for them because I think they want to roll him out there in both scenarios. But I mean, you also want to have him around if they make a run this year. So
I got the best idea. I mean, honestly, that's the best way to do it there.
But we make great points. However you slice the cake there. So speaking of cake, no, I'm just kidding. This last one's not about cake. So our last
Andrew almost spit his drink.
Oh, we're talking about cake now. Favorite cake? Comment below. No, just kidding. So I feel like I know the answer here. I just want, you know, it's baseball, right? Sometimes you want to just throw up a nice, easy one, a nice floater across the plate and just smash it, you know? This is probably too easy, but if you guys want to choose the harder option to buy, then by all means. So who has had the more impressive season so far? So the Oakland A's, who started 0-6, and then... or maybe it was 0-5. I think it was 0-6. And then are an 11-game winning streak right now, so they're 11-7, first in the AL West. Or the Mets. The New York Mets are 7-6. They're leading their division. They also haven't played like 8 games, but they have a minus 14 run differential. So they've been outscored by 14 runs, and they still have a positive record. So what's more impressive, guys?
Yeah, for me, I'm going to say the A's winning streak. The Mets are in a tough division. It's just been a really weird year so far this year, where that division's just been kind of cheeky to start the season. I mean, they got the Nationals, Braves, Marlins, and Phillies, all teams that were pretty highly coveted coming into this year. I mean, I think probably the worst team there is the Marlins, but the Braves were expected to be pretty good. The Phillies were expected to be pretty darn good, and the Mets were expected to be good, but there were very few people that were picking the Mets to win the division. So yeah, the A's. I mean, they've gone through like a freaking like Goliath at Six Flags Magic Mountain roller coaster of ups and downs. They started bottom of the hill, 0-6, like Asa mentioned.
Can I say something real quick before I forget, because I'm old now? Earlier this season, we were like on our first show, we were talking, and I was like, I actually like the Athletics this year. That's what I said. At the time, they were 0-4, and then when I looked at them in the standings, I was like, oh no, that take is not going to age well. So I'm glad for my take that they've turned it around. But
yeah. I mean, Michael, my brother Michael plays MLB The Show. Ryan, he loves it, swears by it. You could do a crossover player.
I don't know if you guys play video games, but the newest version of MLB Show lets you create a player that is a crossover player, just like Otani for the Road to the Show mode. Nice.
That's pretty dope. We play Call of Duty a little bit when we're not doing the show.
Yeah. Okay. So you're buying the Oakland. You're buying the Oakland A's.
Buying the A's, right? Okay. Like I was saying, huge ups and downs, bro. Like we started down at the bottom, 0-6, right? They opened up the season against some tough teams, right? Played the Stros and then played big boys, pretty good team, right? 50-13, they were outscored. 50-13. Like, that's not even competitive in those games. Then they ripped off. They won the last 2 versus Houston in that series. They won all 4 versus Detroit. They won 3 versus the Twins. And then now they actually start a season versus who do they play next? They play the Orioles. They got a 3-game series against the Orioles. I mean, right now the Orioles are ranked 27th in ESPN Power Rankings, 8-10 record. I mean, we could be talking about this next Thursday. We could be sitting here on the Baseball Buzz talking about them going on like a 16-game win streak.
Yeah, and yesterday they came back to beat the Minnesota Twins. It was a high-scoring game.
Amanda, good stuff, dude.
They didn't have the lead in a game until their 5th game, and it only lasted 1 inning. But now they're on.
Yeah, that's a great point.
All right, Andrew, I challenge you. Can you maybe frame this in a way to say, well, this potentially crappy team is more impressive than this team on a hot streak?
No, right now it's more impressive that the Oakland A's are on their little winning streak here. But the Mets have two guys named Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso. And once they get going, the Mets are going to be one of the better teams in the MLB. I don't really know too much about the Athletics. Jed Lowry, it's nice to see him back on the field. He's not really a household name, but he played only a total of 9 games in 2019 and 2020. Right now, he's leading their offense, batting .323 with a 400 slugging percentage and .516 OPS.
Matt Olson, their first baseman's been raking a little bit. Mark Canha in the outfield, and I think DH, he's been hitting pretty well. They have some, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. This younger guy named Laureano, who's should have some decent skills, just not performing well. And then their starting pitchers kind of faltered at the beginning of this year, and they've been doing a little bit better lately. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. But the longest win streak in MLB history was in 1916 by the I'm sorry, I have it wrong. They were the New York Giants at the time. They're now the Yankees. It was 26 games. So I don't know if they get to that, but they just swept the Twins, and you said they came from behind to do it. That's impressive. The Twins are a really good team, and they were expected to be, to win their division and possibly make a deep playoff run. So I don't know where Oakland goes from here. They're not a team that any of us expected. They lost Chris Davis, who was like their most consistent hitter for power in recent seasons. So that was one thing that was like a worry for Oakland. And their pitching has been left a lot to be desired for the last couple seasons. So it'll be interesting to see because they play in a tough division too, with the Astros and the Angels. So right now, for the sake of this argument, it's the Oakland A's.
Yeah, they have a. Yo,
can we shout out Amanda real quick? Yo, Amanda, you at the Dodger game, right? Let's go, dude, and watching the show.
Can you turn your phone? Can you say "Let's go, AJA"?
Yeah, we're gonna have Amanda be like our in the stadium reporter. You know what I'm saying? Give us all the insides and outs that's going on inside Dodger Stadium. Does it still smell amazing? Like, there's just something about the smell of Dodger Stadium, bro. Jiminy.
She said she's on her way. Okay, well, when you get to the gates, just you can shout out AJA Sports, and then people will be looking at you, and then they'll just think you're drunk already because maybe you were tailgating, you're pre-gaming in your car right over. Because every time I go to a Dodger game and we pull up to the gate because I get there early, and I look over to my right or I look over to my left, there's always fans drinking in their cars while they're driving up to the gate. Just kidding. Please drive safely.
Well, when you get there, save it. When you get there, get blitzed, and then you're good. Just wait till you get there. Don't do it before you get there.
So we'll we are drinking right now, but for what it's worth. But I can only do so much damage to my my home setup.
Yes. We'll get you some stickers, Amanda. We'll get you some stickers.
I'll start vandalizing the stadium with your YouTube. Yeah, thank you. And last time the A's went on a big winning streak like this was in 2002, and the Angels won their only World Series. Sorry, you're trying to reverse the.
Of course, Ryan remembers that. Yeah.
All right,
Ryan, that boy.
So this was actually a stat for the Angels being successful this season. All right. That's actually.
Ryan's gonna find a way to get that in there about the Angels doing well. I love it, dude. That's great.
It's a good point though. Good stat there. I just wanted to finish the show. We could go over the standings real quick. We do this for basketball. Figured we could kind of do this for MLB real quick. Not spend a whole lot of time.
Look at the Yankees. Woo!
So
dumpster fire, huh?
Yankees and Toronto, bottom two teams in the AL East right now. They were both over 500 last year. Both supposed to be in the playoffs again this year. So Tampa Bay, Baltimore is hanging in there. It is technically a tough division, but yeah, Baltimore is probably will regress a little bit there. If the Yankees get it together, we'll see. It's a long season. I know the Blue Jays are without George Springer, so and Biggio, I think they're missing a couple players there. So
it is still Amanda. It is still early. My bad. I got the times mixed up because Lakers play at 6:30 right now. That's on me.
And then, sorry, I'll pull up these comments. Ryan said, "I'm trying." He's trying to will the Angels to victory there. It's still early, Jay. I was talking while I get back to the standings, I was talking to Jay before this went on and about Max Scherzer being traded. if the Angels are like relatively in it, come playoff time or trade deadline time, maybe what do you think about them pulling a trade for Scherzer to try to make a run at the title like the Astros did with Verlander a couple years ago?
Do whatever you got to do to get Mike Trout in the gosh darn playoffs, man. It's the most demoralizing thing ever to see a guy who's unbelievable, just the best in the sport. It's not debatable. Been doing it for the last 5 years. Been the best. Well, I mean, I guess I could argue Mookie if I really wanted to get on Ryan's nerves, but we'll say best in baseball, best to be doing it right now over the last 5-7 years. Been absolutely unbelievable. Get him in the playoffs. Come on, what are we doing? Let's go, Angels.
So I'm going to roll down this list. The Red Sox have a plus 27 run differential, so obviously you'll be successful there. The Blue Jays plus 10 run differential, and they're 8-10, so they're probably getting a little unlucky in some of those wins. We go down to the AL Central here, and the Royals are leading their division with a -6 run differential, so probably getting a little lucky there. A lot of close games. The White Sox behind them with a plus 14. I mean, the White Sox already have their MLB moment of the year with Carlos Rodon throwing that no-hitter earlier this season.
You see Ryan calling a shot, Asa? AL Central is going to the White Sox. We're going to hold you to it, Ryan.
Well, it's not a hot take.
No, I believe it too, but man.
Well, also, Minnesota here should rise up a little bit. Detroit's a bad team. The Cleveland baseball team, as they should be being called, probably will stay in like middle of the pack there. The White Sox should win that division though.
The Royals have won, I think, back-to-back games on walk-offs by Salvador Perez, if I'm not mistaken, I believe. And they they absolutely lit it up earlier in the season with like run scoring. They scored like 30 runs in between two games too. So just want to throw that out there.
Salvador Perez is the dude who had to wear the Tom Brady jersey, right? Because the Chiefs lost Super Bowl. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Tom Brady. We're seeing the Super Bowl, huh? We're seeing the Super Bowl. Talk that smack on Twitter. We're seeing the Super Bowl with 15. We'll see what happens.
If Patrick Mahomes can get the job done, Josh Allen would love to try. So just we'll throw that out there too.
Yeah. So, you guys beat him. You'll beat. Oh, you used to beat him twice a year. As I say, you'll get him twice in your division. We'll see the Super Bowl, huh? TB12, huh?
Yeah, let's go.
Oh man.
So the A's are obviously leading their division, as we already mentioned. 11-game winning streak, -2 differential though, so a lot of close games, kind of making up for their bad start. The Mariners still hanging in there, 11-7, pretty decent team. They have a lot of depth this year of call-ups. Jared Kelenic and Kyle Lewis are two outfielders for them that are really good young kids. So they both should be up. Well, Kyle Lewis is up now. Kelenic should be up like halfway through the season and probably make a difference there. Angels are still holding in here. They should be competitive most of the season. The Rangers are not a good team, so should probably see them decline a little bit. And then the Houston Astros are underperforming, but got hit by the virus and also, the
Texas Rangers are a horrible team and a horrible organization. Control that freaking crowd, would you?
Exactly. Yeah, horrible. We might be going to Texas here pretty soon, but a horrible state right now. Get it together over there, Jiminy. We're not super political. Between the guns and whatever you got going on there as your governor, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Matthew McConaughey is talking about running for governor one day. He has positive.
Absolutely, Ryan. He has. And Amanda extended the olive branch. Yep. Okay,
you gotta get some Los Angeles fans against Houston.
Couldn't do it, dude.
Bond over is
bunch of cheaters. Bunch of bum cheaters, man.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and they want to play the victim afterwards.
We don't have anybody in here to like defend the Astros, but whatever.
There's no defending them. That's why you're not gonna find anybody. Even people in Houston don't like the Astros right now. Terrible, cheaters, immoral, bunch of immoral cheaters. It's okay because we're gonna win like 4 World Series anyway. The Dodgers rub it right in your face.
So, we'll briefly go over this real quick and end our show. The East in the National League, the Mets are on top with a -14. We already went over that. Kind of a close division. 2 games separating everybody, or a game and a half actually. We'll see how some of these teams fare, but probably the most open division if we had to guess here. Kind of like the NL least of the football world. If you follow the NFC East and
Atlanta will probably end up winning that division. Ozzy Albus just got hurt. He got whacked with a pitch the other day, if I'm not mistaken, and had to leave the game. I don't know if there was like some bone damage or something, but once he returns and everyone kind of gets healthy, that team should probably win that division. I mean, well, they should contend with the Mets, but most likely because the Mets are really good. I don't think Philadelphia has enough to get there.
Really, I think Philadelphia might win that division, dude.
I mean, they added Didi Gregorius, yeah. They added Didi Gregorius. They have Bryce Harper. God, for the life, man, I can't remember their center fielder's name. He's pretty good though.
See, I don't think they're going to be like the NFC least in terms. I think they'll be in the NFC least like in terms of competitiveness, like how close they are. But I mean, unless they totally cannibalize each other, they should be okay. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what you meant, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We got you, buddy. We got you.
Ryan, there doesn't need to be anybody defending that because again, there's no defending it. It's ridiculous.
No. I'm just trying to, if any.
I like this guy Ryan, bro. This guy Ryan's where it's at, bro.
If any Houston fan watches this in playback sometime in the future,
get in it. Comment. I'll come comment back to you. You bunch of cheating bums.
We're supposed to keep the show nice and light today and fun, and I got Junior's blood pressure going up a little bit.
I think I do it every show, bro. It's so disastrous.
Okay. Everybody expects it at this point. So in the Central, the Brewers are leading that by 2 games. Still early, obviously. The Reds, Pirates, Cubs, Cardinals to follow, all around 500. I mean, the Brewers have a good squad. They obviously have Burns, ace there. But yeah, still early. I kind of I like Cincinnati's roster a little bit. Don't know if they'll have enough to stick it through. But
did you guys see what happened the other day against the Diamondbacks? I was going to bring it up earlier when we were talking about weather delaying games, but did you guys see what happened about like their pitcher Lucas Sims?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so he came on for relief in a game that was like absolutely pouring rain and freezing in Cincinnati, and he came on with runners on second and third, and then immediately hit somebody with a slider, hit a right-handed batter with one of his sliders, and he's a right-handed pitcher. And then he walked the next run in to put the Diamondbacks up 5-4. So after that, he was like, I can't pitch in this. And after the game, he talked about it. He's like, there were a lot of safety issues, and I'll get to the quote afterwards. But he basically just had he played catch with the umpire until the umpire got rid of all the game balls that he had. And he just kept throwing them towards the dugout. And then the umpire just eventually called the game because of inclement weather. So there was a 25-minute delay. So
good on him, though. Good on him.
Strategy. Yeah.
It's a hilarious video. I wanted to show it on here, but I wasn't sure if we could. We've been, we've been having the, what's it called? Whatever, but it's a funny clip if you can find it. He's getting them, he's looking at him and throwing him to the dugout. He's getting another one, looks at it and throws it to the dugout. He's like, I don't like this one. And the up walks meets him halfway between home and the pitcher's mound. And he's like, what are you doing, dude? And he throws him another one and he's like, oh, I just don't like these balls. And he just walked off the mound. Yeah. And they called the game for 25 minutes.
Baseball is not like football. Where you could play in inclement weather, bro. I'm literally throwing a white ball. If it's snowing outside, how the flip am I going to be able to do it, bro? When we watched a game the other day, I think it was opening day, where it was that rain game. People were like, oh, that'd be so fun to play in. No, it is not. On what earth? I already have sweaty palms. I'm already throwing bats over here. We already apologized to my buddy Zach Haynes on stream about this. Are you kidding me? My bat's going in the 5th row. It's going, I mean, good lordy. No shot.
Yeah, he said, I was concerned about me slipping or something going wrong with the ball, and also my competitors too. I have no clue where the freaking ball is going. This is a quote. And he's like, I don't know the last time I hit a right-hander with a slider. And I mean, that's true. I mean, it's kind of hard. It's really hard for a right-handed pitcher to hit a right-handed batter with a slider.
It goes from right to left.
Right.
What? That is crazy. Oh, that's crazy.
Okay, so real quick, let me go through this, and then I'll post that clip real quick for you, Andrew. So the Dodgers, Giants, Padres, Diamondbacks, Rockies, Dodgers leading the division, leading the league in point run differential with 38, undefeated at home, playing the Padres in a half an hour, which Amanda's going to go watch. Scream, lose your voice for us, please. We'd love to catch a game if we can soon.
Absolutely.
I mean, the Giants are kind of holding on here a little bit. I don't necessarily think they'll be in it closer to the end of the season. But it's a long season, so we'll kind of keep
They'll probably
tabs.
finish. They'll be like the fourth team. They'll be like, I mean, the Rockies are not very good, but there's always a possibility. And the Giants have been kind of bland the last few years. No big deal. Dodge 14-4, best record in baseball. Damn, I'm saying. Y'all better have enjoyed that 0-1 start we had, baby. Only time we're not going to be big ball on the top of the standings. Good luck, everybody else.
Tell them, Jay. Okay, so I just pulled this up from the ArizonaSports.com. This is a pitch. Oh, I don't want to accept these cookies. Whatever. Okay, accept the cookies. This is. I don't know if you can see that well, but there's obviously some like snow, icy rain coming down. So that's not fun. And then we have a clip here. This is Sims talking. He said, I got balls for days, bro. Let's do this. He kept throwing the balls to the umpire, so that's what Andrew was talking about.
This is our reaction to the video. We are talking about the video, okay? For everybody watching, we are reacting to the video, talking about the video. This is not our video. Reacting to the video, okay? Make sure everyone's A-okay with that.
Yeah, it's an inside joke for us. Not really. Inside joke that we're telling you all about.
Right.
Okay, so thanks for the podcast, guys. I'm heading down. See you guys later. Go Lawyers.
Go
Later,
Dodgers.
Amanda. Have a wonderful time at the game. Appreciate you tuning in.
Big dub today. Man,
Anyways,
is gonna be there. Boys are gonna show out. Big dub today.
I think we're gonna head off to, go live out the rest of our nights in happiness and carry this baseball buzz over to.
We get to watch Anthony Davis play basketball for the Lakers. That's what we get to do tonight. That's what's
Yes.
happening tonight, baby.
Yeah, if you're if you're Jay, that's what he'll be doing. If you're me, I'll I don't know what I'm gonna be eating dinner, hanging out with the fam.
Mookie's in the lineup for the Dodgers after getting hit in the forearm, so expect to see Mookie.
Good.
He's gonna play.
Nice.
Cody Bellinger and Gavin Lux still out. We didn't get to injuries today, but I'll give them to you real quick. Manny Machado and Will Myers are the only guys who are on the injured list for the Padres, but they're gonna play. Chris Taylor and Zach McKinstry. He's new. Chris Taylor and Zach McKinstry got scratched from tonight's start, so the lineup looks a little bit different. But Mookie is playing, so good luck, Dodgers.
See if they can stay undefeated at home. It'll be a nice test. Buehler versus Weathers. Weathers doesn't usually pitch a long game, so Buehler's been pitching at least 6 innings his 3 starts this year. I think Weathers has been on he hasn't pitched more than 80 pitches or something like that. So, yeah. Enjoy the rest of your night, folks. Thank you for the late injury there report, Andrew. Much appreciated. Thanks for tuning in with us and hanging out with us, guys. Ryan and Amanda, as always, we appreciate your guys' viewership. Until we see you guys again, enjoy the rest of your night. Bye.